The oceanic distances separating Indo-Pacific flashpoints, like Taiwan and the Malacca Strait, are massive. Any major conflict here will be a grueling, multi-year war of attrition. Winning requires maintaining the flow of fuel, ammunition, and parts across stretched supply lines. The anxiety over these logistics stems from Beijing's activity. Over the last decade, China has militarized the South China Sea, dredging reefs into fortified naval bases and active military runways to lock down maritime territory. At the same time, regional powers are grappling with a shifting political reality. Isolationist rhetoric from Washington has created doubts about U.S. military reliability, with allies questioning if they would sustain a multi-year fight across the Pacific. Japan realizes they cannot wait out a long war, hoping a distant ally arrives in time. They are moving to engineer a self-reliant regional security architecture to survive. To achieve that, they have to address a severe logistical penalty. Currently, if an Indian or Australian task force engages hostile forces near the Sea of Japan, they are fighting thousands of miles from their home ports. Under these conditions, an Allied warship taking battle damage has to be pulled out of the fight entirely. It must navigate all the way back to a domestic dry dock for specialized structural repairs. Modern navies also rely on highly specific, proprietary weapon systems. An Indian vessel cannot simply pull into a Japanese port and load up on domestic Japanese missiles or spare radar components. The hardware is incompatible. This creates a massive timeline deficit. Spending weeks limping home to rearm means that ship is completely removed from the combat theater, allowing the adversary to operate without resistance. Overcoming these fragmented supply chains dictates which side can actually maintain a presence in the water long enough to prevent an adversary from seizing the ocean. Tokyo is executing a major policy pivot to solve this. They are dismantling post-World War II pacifist export restrictions, allowing them to ship lethal military technology abroad for the first time in decades. The centerpiece of this effort is the Mogami-class stealth frigate. Japan has offered to share the highly classified complete blueprints of this $500 million warship directly with India. This pitch is part of a larger strategy. Japan recently signed a defense agreement with Australia that includes provisions for delivering Japanese-designed warships to the Australian Navy. The guiding logic here is interoperability, the military doctrine of ensuring different national forces can operate using the exact same hardware and technical procedures. Tokyo is leveraging its advanced defense industry to quietly build a standardized, interchangeable naval alliance across the Pacific. Imagine the operational advantage if the Japanese, Australian, and Indian navies are all driving the exact same class of stealth frigate. Standardizing the hull and internal systems creates a shared supply chain. A replacement component manufactured in Tokyo works perfectly in a vessel built in Mumbai. If that Indian frigate takes a hit in the South China Sea, it no longer has to retreat across the Indian Ocean. It can dock in Japan, where local engineers already know the blueprints and get patched up immediately. The exact same logic applies to firepower. Any Allied ship in this network can pull into a partner's port and load up on compatible anti-ship missiles and torpedoes on the fly. Standardizing hardware multiplies the endurance and lethality of the Allied naval presence, allowing them to maintain a continuous threat without needing to commission extra ships. Executing a defense deal of this scale involves intense friction. The immediate hurdle is establishing exactly how much proprietary technology Japan is actually willing to hand over to foreign shipyards. There is also a question of tactical alignment. A stealth frigate optimized for the Pacific might not match India's specific requirements for securing the Indian Ocean against regional threats. Furthermore, Indian shipyards will face the massive challenge of adapting their manufacturing processes to build state-of-the-art Japanese designs at scale. Regardless of the negotiation outcomes, these talks represent a permanent change in how Asian powers view their collective security. Japan has moved away from its decades-long posture as a passive U.S.-dependent outpost to become the proactive security architect of a self-sustaining Asian coalition. Effective deterrence in the Indo-Pacific now relies on Allied navies operating in total technical sync, vessels literally forged from the exact same steel.